What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and today we're going to be discussing the potential final roster for Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. This will be after the game releases and after all the DLC has come out. And yes, there is going to be DLC. It's already been confirmed to be happening, so there's no point in debating whether you want it to happen or not. Now before I begin, I want to give a warning that this roster is actually pretty big. The reason I'm giving a warning for that is because the last time I made a CTR video about characters, like a wish list and stuff, people didn't really like it that much. I mean, it still did get way more likes than dislikes, but it did get more dislikes than usual. I don't know if it was because I was getting people's hopes up and setting them up for disappointment and they didn't like that, or maybe I just left someone out that they really wanted. Whatever it was, I hope it doesn't happen here, because I'm not just gonna throw every single character in there. I'm going to have a reason for each person. So yeah, while the roster at the end of this video is going to be big, it's not just blind optimism. There is a reason behind it. First of all, there's a scroll wheel on the character select screen for Nitro-Fueled, which means that you can scroll up and down the screen, meaning that it's going to be full. You're gonna need to scroll. And second, the characters are numbered. Why would you need to number the characters if there are so few that you could count them all on your hands? And third, Beanox's goal with this game is to maximize the content, not just increase it. Maximize it. They said it, not me. With that said, let's dive in. We're beginning with the characters that have already been confirmed, starting with the original CTR roster. We have Crash, Coco, Cortex, Engine, Tiny, Dingodile, Polar, Purra, Ripperoo, Papu Papu, Komodo Joe, Pinstripe, Entropy, Fake Crash, and Nitrous Oxide is now going to be playable. We haven't heard a word about Penta Penguin yet, but I'm assuming 100% that he is safe, considering how important he was to the original game. They're probably just trying to keep him secret until the last moment, or until the game releases, just like the original game. He could only be accessed through a secret cheat code. But these aren't the only characters confirmed. After Crash Nitro Kart content was revealed for Nitro-Fueled during the PlayStation State of Play, articles came out containing an interview with Beanox. And this was an official interview. They shared it on all their social medias and everything. And they confirmed that all the Crash Nitro Kart content is coming. All the tracks, all the karts, and all the characters. This includes Velo, Entranced, Zem, Zam, and a fan favorite character that got a vocal and verbal confirmation in a video interview between the director of Nitro-Fueled and Canadian Guy A, Crunch Bandicoot. Those are all the characters we have confirmed right now. But I still have some predictions. If we're finally getting Nitrous Oxide playable on the CTR side, I don't see why we can't get the bosses playable on the Crash Nitro Kart side. That's right, I predict we'll be able to race as Crunk, Nash, Little Norm, Big Norm, and Geary. I mean, after all, in the interview they did say all characters, not specifically all playable racers. I could be taking that out of context or being too hopeful, but only time will tell. But wait, we're missing one more Crash Nitro Kart character, and he actually was playable. I'm talking about the one and only Spyro the Dragon. He was only playable in the Game Boy Advanced version of the game, but he was playable. There's no reason why he couldn't be in, and there are several hints already pointing towards him, like tweets from the Spyro Twitter, or the fact that someone who applied to be a concept artist on the game was tasked with designing Spyro-themed start and finish lines. So not only does that mean we could be getting Spyro as a character, but we could be getting Spyro-themed tracks, and maybe even more Spyro characters. But I'm not predicting more Spyro characters, they're just on a wish list in my head. Allura, Hunter, Ripto, they'd all be neat, but I'm not expecting them to show up. Characters I do predict are ones you've been waiting to hear about in this video for a while. They would be the other Naughty Dog era characters. Characters that were from that time period but didn't make it into the original CTR for some reason. And those include Tawna Bandicoot, Nitrous Brio, Koala Kong, and Komodo Mo, the other Komodo brother. And the lab assistant enemies. Also, Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled looks like it has a different victory screen, which leaves no home for the poor trophy girls, except as playable racers. I do think they will be playable. They'll probably all share a spot on the character select screen and just be different costumes of each other. And we're still not done. In that Nitro-Fueled director and Canadian Guy A interview I talked about earlier, another question was asked. Besides CTR and Crash Nitro Kart, would there be any other games beyond that would get representation in Nitro-Fueled? The director responded saying that right now they were currently focusing on Crash Team Racing and Nitro Kart content, but they're always looking to make the fans happy and that we should expect more surprises in the future. This statement opens the door for many things, including Crash Tag Team Racing. Since stuff that gets in is entirely based on fan demand, and trust me, it is, Beanox has been listening like crazy, The Crash Tag Team Racing characters will be next in line after the Naughty Dog characters get in, especially since it has the most iconic post-Naughty Dog character besides Crunch Bandicoot, Nina Cortex. And with Nina coming in, they may figure why not add the other two Crash Tag Team Racing characters, Pasadena Opossum and Von Clutch. But would you believe that I'm still not done? There's one last Crash Racing character that we're missing, and that is Yaya Panda. She appeared in not one, but two Crash Racing games on mobile devices, Crash Nitro Kart 2 and Crash Nitro Kart 3D. Not only is she a character under the Nitro Kart name, but she was in games directly published by Activision, so they do own her. If they're willing to include a character like Spyro who isn't even from Crash because he was in a Nitro Kart port on the Game Boy Advance over 15 years ago, I don't see why Yaya Panda would be left out when she appeared in two Crash Nitro Kart games on mobile devices created just a few years back by Activision themselves. And with that, we have 37 characters, just 5 short of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's 42, and we didn't even have to cram in baby characters, cat characters, or pink gold characters. Nor did we have to force in any characters, all of them are there for a reason. There are plenty of characters left out that I could have easily forced in. Madame Amberly, Viscount, the Titans, Evil Crash and Coco. They just honestly don't belong and shouldn't be forced in. Now, if they did want to add 5 more characters and match Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's 42 character roster, I've got some DLC ideas. And just like the others, they'll have reasons to be in, not forced. First up is Velo, Big Velo from Crash Nitro Kart. For those who don't know, at the end of Crash Nitro Kart, Velo explodes and is revealed to be a robot that was being controlled by a tiny little alien dude that's the real Velo. And that tiny little alien dude was the Velo we got to play as. But I always thought the design of the big robot Velo was super cool and always wanted to play as him, so now we could finally get the chance. Next are the evil twins, Victor and Moritz from Crash Twinsanity, who could each have their own character slots, just like each of the Komodo Bros. They both have their own unique personality and voice, and they're the antagonists of Crash Twinsanity, which is one of the most fan-favorited Crash games out there. It'd be nice to have it represented, as well as Crash Bash with Rilla Roo. Now Beanox, if you're listening, I know you've gotten tons of requests to remaster Crash Bash, but the majority of us would much rather have a brand new Crash Bandicoot game with a new story and everything instead of another remake. So instead of remaking Crash Bash, just put its only new character, Rilla Roo, into Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. And the 5th and final character is Willy Wumpa-Cheeks from Crash Tag Team Racing. Similar to Oxide and the C and K bosses, he wasn't playable. I mean, he wasn't a racer either, regardless of if he was playable or not, but he was part of a Crash Racing game, similar to the Trophy Girls from CTR. He would be the last little bit to round out Crash's racing history, all in this one game. And there you have it, 42 characters for Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. It seems like a lot, but just remember what I said at the beginning of this video. Leopold the Brave, out.